Hi, hola, ¿cómo estás? ElizaBeth Hardin here, your personal holistic financial coach. So take that breath. When I use your arms and circle them around, take a nice breath. If you're able to listen and stop for a few moments, I'm going to give you 5 goal setting tips on your financial journey. And I want you to give yourself some moments to breathe, that you get to make change, that it's up to you. Don't expect anybody else to change. We can't change anybody. The only person we can change is ourselves. So I want you to become your best motivator, your best goal setter self, your crushing it, that you decide, I'm going to put myself first, pay myself first, set some great goals, and make some things happen. Because on my next video, we're going to be talking about paying yourself first. So if you listen to that, or if you listen to this, make sure you share it with your people and get in touch with me for your free 30-minute complimentary session with myself. And let's get you set up for your present and your future to be the best present for yourself, to create the best legacy. Okay, so 5 goal setting tips. Number 1, make a list. Whether goals are big or small, current or future, get specific. I want you to get really specific. And describing them in detail will help you visualize success, because this is also something you're going to make a vision board and you're going to put these on there. So what are you visualizing? What is on your list, either big or small, or you can say big and small, and we're going to put it in that visualization. We're going to feel it inside of you, but you got to be real specific. So if you've ever heard about praying as a conversation, well, you have to get really specific in that prayer. You can't just slap a one-liner on it or a commercial on it. You got to feel it. You got to feel it. And you got to get real specific with that prayer. Well, this list is no different. Number 2, get personal. Take a breath. Where do you need to get personal with yourself? Where do you feel stuck? Where have you ignored yourself? It is time to get personal. Get real. The more personal you make your goal, the more likely you are to do what it takes to achieve it. Make it all about you. So again, like paying ourselves first, like putting ourselves first, and we got to show up in order to be there for anybody else. You got to put yourself first. You have to do what it takes to achieve it. So what is your motivation? Besides there's yourself. Is it, do you have a mate? Do you have a family? Do you have children? Do you have pets? Do you have something that you give back in the community? Is it a list of everything above Elizabeth? It's everything. There's much more that you said. Is it you want to buy a home? You need a new car? You need to pay your bills? What is your motivation? Okay, because you got to have motivation, otherwise there is no energy into it. And you got to, electrify it. You got to put energy into it, and then you got to write it all down. Remember, writing it down with being very specific. Goal number 3, prioritize. Which goals are more easily attainable or more important to you? This can help you prioritize your list. So, which goals are more easily attainable or more important to you? So I kind of like to start with the quote unquote the hard, the most difficult, because then everything else is easier, right? And then sometimes, if it's feeling really too much, then go get one of those attainable ones, right? But don't just save all the feeling impossible ones for the last, because you're never going to do it. So put those big goals at the top of your list, because that's what gonna keep you motivated. Let me give you an example. Say you want to buy that house, you want to buy that car, you have bills to pay. You can't be going out to eat all the time. You got to be putting that money in an account that I'm going to help you set up. Does that make sense? Because then you're not going to be able to achieve that goal if you're doing nothing to attain it. It's a fact. So you have to really start getting out of denial and being really real with yourself, the way maybe you're real with somebody else, but you're not being really real with yourself. So it's time to Give yourself some tough love and call yourself out because you can. Goal number 4, create a timeline. Once you know what you want to achieve and the order of importance to you, create a timeline so you can stay on track. Okay, so I want y'all to put in the comments, it's Christmas 2024. So it's actually December 23rd, 2024 right now. By next year, December 23rd, 2025, we're going to do another check-in on this. But I want you to have a timeline from now until then, and then in maybe 3 months, maybe once a month or once every 3 months. Maybe your timeline is once a week. Maybe it's, what do you need for a timeline? And it's the timeline for those small achievable ones. It's the timeline for the big ones that you're going to have to still work on every single day, because it just doesn't happen overnight. Things don't just fall in your lap. You got to put the good juicy work into it to get the juicy nectar to come back out, right? You plant the seed, you get the fruit. Goal number 5, do the math. Now, don't say you're not good at math. Yeah, I count one breath. You know how to exhale one breath. You know how to count another breath. That means we're on to 2. Exhale. Okay, you know how to do math. Do the math. How much money will you need to save to achieve your goal? All these goals, the small goals and the bigger goals. How much money will you need to save to achieve your goals? Let's start with the first goal, 101. Do you know how much do you need to pay your bills? Do you know how much you need for your savings? Do you know how much you need for emergency funds? Do you know how much you need for retirement? Do you know how much you need for some other funds that we can talk about? Figure in any amounts already saved, create a plan, and revisit it regularly. So see, that's why we're going to have this great relationship together, and it's free, that we're going to have that one conversation, 30 minutes, 15, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, start seeing what you need, who you are, welcome, hi, how are you? See if we're a good fit, get on to the next meeting, free, create a plan, do more on that plan, get on to the next meeting, free. And then you see where we're going with this? We're building this relationship, we're stacking our goals, we're going to be working on this. So between Christmas now and Christmas next year, we're really going to get to know each other on the small and the big goals, and be able to revisit them next, all along the way, and especially next year, and say, wow, look what we planted, and then look what happened, right? So it doesn't matter what holiday you celebrate. It's from the timeline. So what are we putting in that timeline? So thank you for listening. I again look forward to helping you on your journey. ElizaBeth Hardin here, your holistic financial coach with Legacy Wealth Builders. Get in touch with me, holisticfinancialcoach@gmail.com, or you can also do the old-fashioned way. Call me or text me at 727-294-0109. Tell me who you are. Great day, great time to talk to you and gather. Again, I'm available 7 days a week with a certain timeline because of the time zones, but we can make anything happen as long as you are willing to change and do the steps to make it happen for you and your family and your legacy. So, besos, please share this, and let's help change one person, one household, together at a time, family to family, from mi casa to a su casa.